My name is Todd Davison. Welcome to Soul Stirring. The intent of this little presentation, this little slide deck, is to share the story of Soul Stirring and where it came from and how it has moved me and how I hope it will move you. My goal is to guide you through the essence of what Soul Stirring is, and again, what inspired me to create it, and really to extend an invitation for you to join me on this journey of spiritual growth, of personal growth, of living into who fundamentally we know ourselves capable of becoming. So let's take a look at what we're going to cover. What we're going to cover today. Let's begin. We'll outline first just a few things that I want to touch on. We're going to talk about what I'm going to introduce Soul Stirring, what it means. I'm going to share a little bit of my personal story, a little bit of my personal motivation for creating this transformative work. We'll dive into a couple of the Soul Stirring offerings and really focus on, because this is where it gets pretty, I get pretty lit up. I hope you do about it. Share these brand new bite-sized courses of Soul Stirring. I call them Soul Bites 101. And then talk to you a little bit about the future looking for Soul Stirring. So, and then a couple concrete steps on how you might want to participate and engage. So, ready? All right, let's get started. So, really, welcome to a powerful journey. That's the point here. Soul Stirring is a powerful journey. It's a journey of discovering and embracing our truth, your truth, our truth, okay? We often live based on the stories other people have told us for so many years. We live according to their expectations or the expectations society places on us. And Soul Stirring is designed to help us truly reclaim, possibly for the first time, both our story and, most importantly, our truth. What is true for us? What do we hold as fundamentally core to who we are? And what lights us up? What has us live our lives more alive? Okay, and that's the essence of what Soul Stirring is designed to do. This is not about superficial, surface level, scratching the surface type of work. This is deep, soulful work that really gets to the very core of who we are. And our programs are carefully curated to help identify not just, yes, your true voice, but to help you tap into the spark of divinity that is within each of us, and then live from that spark, from that light. I call it living in the light. Okay, shining the light from within. And how did we get here? Why am I motivated to do this work? I want to share just a little bit about why I'm so passionate for this work. For a long time in my life, and it took some work for me to discover this, but I felt that I was playing small, so much smaller than I knew myself capable. In other words, I was playing here, and I knew I had the potential to play here, but I wasn't tapping into it. I wasn't harnessing all that I knew myself capable of being and becoming. My voice, I was discounting my own voice. In fact, I had really identified that a story I had told myself was that in order to be safe, I needed to be silent. And while that might have served me years and years ago when I was a child, it didn't serve me well as an adult. And so, consequentially, my life was lacking the depth and the purpose that I craved. And I had to make a shift. I had to I call it compassionately disrupt how I was living so that I could live into how I really wanted to be living. And that that my personal stories, really become a huge piece of the motivation for why I'm doing this work. Not just, of myself, but, and I say that it's both selfish because it does serve me. This work calls me out to be the best I know myself capable, but it's also selfless in that the work is designed to call forth the divine spark and light from everyone who participates. My mission, I've got a mission and a vision, and my big grand vision is to bend the arc of humanity just a fraction of a degree closer towards peace, love, compassion, and understanding. If this work is able to alter that trajectory, bend that arc just a fraction of a degree, such a huge success. My personal mission is to honor the dignity of the collective human soul, one soul at a time. That's it. Honor the dignity of the collective human soul, one soul at a time. And for me, where that started was to honor the dignity of my own soul. And then that brought me to soul stirring. So what holds us back? What holds us back from honoring the dignity of our own soul? What holds us back from living the life that we know ourselves capable, that we yearn for, right? So many of us are afraid to upset the status quo. God forbid, right? We're gonna, that we would shift things in our life that had us be able to live differently than we are now. We're comfortable. We're comfortable with what's familiar. Even, and this is one of the paradoxes, we're comfortable even if it's not serving us. Some of us aren't willing to take responsibility for our own growth. We're afraid of the discomfort. Oh my gosh, this is such a huge one. I use, one of the top 10 reasons of what led me to create this work was that I identified as not willing to get blisters on my fingers. Okay. And what I mean by that is I really wanted to play the guitar like Eric Clapton or Cat Stevens. Like I wanted to be masterful, but I wasn't willing to get the calluses on my fingers that inherently are going to come from the work it takes to play like that. And so, for us to live in the lives we know ourselves capable of living, we have to be willing to endure the discomfort, of stretching into where we know ourselves to be comfortable and safe, into where we know what our lives are to be possible. And so, perhaps some of us lived with just a low desire. We've been conditioned to accept mediocrity. Or we're paralyzed. This is a huge one. We're paralyzed by our own limiting beliefs, convinced we're not capable of more. And inevitably, there's the fear of risk, of failing, of being judged, of the unknown, of not looking good, of not getting it right, of needing to have it all figured out. Oh my God. A lot of fear, a lot of doubt, and sadly, fear and doubt are the two biggest culprits for playing small, for not living into who and how we know ourselves capable of living. So here's the question. What if stepping into your greatness is the key to experiencing the fullness of your life? Stepping into your greatness, living in the light, unwrapping the gift of that spark of divinity that you felt within you for so long. What if? That's a good question. So let me tell you just a little bit about soul stirring and the different tiers that we have. So soul stirring is constructed in a way to meet you wherever you are, to meet you on your personal journey. We've got a few different tiers. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to work backwards here. I'm going to tell you about the full program first, okay? Because the full program is what I started with. It was a 10-week, really intensive journey. It was 2 hours each week for 10 weeks, and with a lot of work, in those 2-hour virtual gatherings, and a lot of work in between. I threw everything in the kitchen sink into that program, and it's an awesome program, except it's a really big ask. It's a really big commitment, and what I found was it was keeping people from being willing to engage. Right? They didn't know or couldn't see how they could carve out that kind of time. So what I said was, what we need to do is we need to take this soul stirring program, this whole menu of this work, and what we need to do is we need to carve it into smaller, much more digestible bites. Soul bites. That's where it came from. Soul bites. We're going to take the sum of this work, carve it into smaller portions, and deliver it in that way. So there are 2 levels of soul bites. Soul bites 101. Sort of this follows kind of like a college level course numbering system. Soul stirring 101. Okay. Soul bites 101. An introduction, a dip your toes in the water experience. Get your feet wet just a little bit. It's 2 weeks, 90 minutes each week, virtual gatherings, small groups of between 8 and 12 participants, so pretty intimate, and it's $69. Okay? You probably spend $69 over a couple months for coffee. Put $69 into the beginning of your own soulful rediscovery, your own soulful revolution, if you will, for you and for those you're in relationship with. Soul Stirring and Soul Bites 202 are more in depth. They are a higher level course. It's a 4-week course that happens over a month or over a 4-week period, and are going to be 90-minute sessions also, but we're going to have 4 of them, and that's going to dive deeper. It's a deeper dive into one of these particular topics, and that's what the idea of I'll say one more thing about Soul Bites is that we're going to have a full menu of Soul Bites to consider. So let's talk about Soul Bite 101 offerings. There's so many more on the menu, okay, that you can participate in, but I can't cover them all in this little informational exchange. I'm going to talk about 2, and the first one I'm going to talk about is our willingness to risk, because it probably is applicable as you're watching this, right? A willingness to risk. Am I willing to risk my current condition, my current state, how I'm showing up today? Am I willing to risk the comfort, albeit perhaps not a comfort level that may not be serving you well, but am I willing to risk the comfort that I'm familiar with, the familiarity of where I'm at today, for something more? All right. Am I willing to risk I say in soul stirring, am I willing to risk the discomfort of my own growth? Am I willing to risk stretching just a little bit beyond where I'm comfortable into what I know to be possible? Am I willing to risk the embarrassment, perhaps, stumbling over my own words, which I do all the time, but it's how I get better. It's how I stretch into who I know myself capable of becoming. So willing to risk. Amazing Soul Bite 101 course. And then another one to speak about is living in the light, or shining your light. Okay, I believe, and I know this in the core of my core, that we each have a spark of divinity within us. Okay, a spark of the higher power, a spark of a universal energy, a spark of God. It really doesn't matter how you language it. It matters that you honor it. And that's what living in the light and shining the light is about. It's about owning that spark and beginning to unwrap that spark, unwrap all the layers of protection that we as human beings are inclined to try to protect it, unwrap it, and let that light shine out from within. Let that light shine out from within. So, there you go. What does the future of soul stirring hold for all of us? Well, like I said, there is a menu of at least a dozen, if not more, Soul Bite 101 courses. 2-week courses, 90 minutes each, $69. Okay. Very, very low barrier to enter here. You can sign up and start dipping your toes in this work for not a huge investment. All right. For some, that might be, it might be a little harder to come by, but it should be doable, right? It should be doable. We're going to continue to expand the Soul Bite 101 offering, but then we're going to start doing a lot of work, and we've begun doing work on taking that deeper dive offering, that Soul Bite 201. Okay. 202, 203, doesn't matter. So the next iteration, the deeper dive into Soul Bites, will be the 4-week programs, and then we'll likely be dialing back up the everything in the kitchen sink program. We're going to be offering some weekend retreats, virtually and then in person. We're going to have some soul stirring cafes, maybe some pop-ups. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting because there's going to be a community of soul stirrers, soul seekers. I don't know if you can tell, I am so wicked excited about the future for soul stirring. So next steps, what's next? If you have questions, private, that you'd like to ask, email me, please. Get on the website, follow the links, send me a note. Let me know what you're wondering. We're also going to be hosting some monthly live information sessions, so we can actually talk, right? So that it doesn't all have to be just this digital expression or digital communication. So take a moment, review the website, explore the programs, find out which offering sort of resonates with you. Is that willing to risk? Does that call to you? Does living in the light and shining the light from within call to you? Both, perhaps? Giddy up, let's go. Let's start dipping our toes in the water of soul stirring, and see what promise it holds for all of us. Join the email. Get you a couple free worksheets, some materials that you can work with, and then don't forget, please check the dates for the upcoming Soul Bite 101 courses with no more than 12 participants. They're going to fill up. They're going to fill up, and I want you to honor your own soul and invest in this work for yourself and for really bigger picture for humanity as a whole. So really the time to step into your greatness. Yeah, the time to step into your greatness is now. Time to step in is now. All right. So listen, I want to thank you for your time. The most valuable thing we have to share with others is our time. Thank you for the time to be here to learn more about soul stirring. I know this journey has a power to change lives. My life, yours included. If you're called to step into this work, I'd love to connect with you. Reach out, send me an email, send a message from the website. Until then, I invite you to keep exploring, keep growing, keep moving towards the life you're meant to live. Listen, thanks again. I do look forward to seeing you in one of our upcoming Soul Bite courses, and be well. Thanks.